Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. In this video, we'll talk about Joel Embiid and the process and the relation of the process with Brett Brown, Jimmy Butler, and Ben Simmons. Before getting started, let me remind you to subscribe to the channel to stay updated on more videos. And if you're a big fan of either Joel Embiid, Brett Brown, Jimmy Butler, or Ben Simmons, just hit the like button. The process and Joel Embiid. So to begin, Joel Embiid is a Cameroonian NBA professional basketball player for the Philadelphia 76ers. You'd be hard-pressed to find a slogan in sports history that is more emblematic of a team's culture and identity than the Philadelphia 76ers trust the process. TTP, a rallying cry employed initially only by the nerdy fans of the team's patron saint of tanking, former Sixers general manager Sam Hinkie, has transcended both the group and city to attain prominence in U.S. popular culture. Embiid said in an interview that he kept the process as his nickname to irritate the NBA staff who chased Hinkie out of town. This is the definitive history. Do you know? Embiid stuck with the process nickname to spite NBA. Embiid appeared on the Draymond Green Show, a podcast hosted by Draymond Green, where he discussed the process and his early years playing under Hinkie. He reiterated his belief that the NBA played a role in Hinkie's departure throughout the conversation. Hinkie was basically forced out by, I don't want to say names, but you know I'm outspoken, so I'll say it, by the NBA, Embiid said. I always say I don't know who, but I think that's what it was. And then that pissed me off because I felt like, yeah, sure, there was a lot of losing, which I wasn't part of that because that was before I started playing. But I knew that eventually once I started playing, it was going to change, which it did. So why stick with the process as a nickname after all that criticism? To spite the NBA, of course. I got pissed off because they ran Sam Hinkie out of town, and I knew that they didn't like the process, all the losing stuff, he said. Then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna piss some people off, even around the team. There was a bunch of people that didn't like that word. There's nothing better than petty Embiid. Joel claims the NBA told him to ditch his nickname. The more pushback Embiid got on the nickname, the more he wanted to use it. Embiid embraces his nickname today more than he ever has before. He gets announced before home games as Joel the Process Embiid. He eggs the crowd on whenever they chant "Trust the Process," and his Twitter bio even reads "Processing." Let's talk about the process and Brett Brown. The Sixers hired Brett Brown as the team's head coach. During Brown's initial press conference, Hinkie first publicly combined the concepts of process and trust. Hinkie said on August 14, 2013, I was pretty candid with Brett throughout the process about the challenges ahead. There has to be trust. However, it would take almost a year and a half for these two words to be associated with Hinkie's tenure. Under Hinkie and head coach Brett Brown, the 76ers would win 19 games in year 1, 18 games in year 2, and 10 games in year 3. There was a revolving door of young players, and Hinkie angered agents and some media members. He didn't say much about the loss, but he never expressed regret for it. Now, if we see the process and Jimmy Butler. The Jimmy Butler era ended poorly. The 2019 summer was a catastrophe, and Philadelphia fired Brown on Monday, and it has nothing to do with the process, which had concluded by the time Simmons was selected. Either December 7, 2015, when the team announced Jerry Colangelo's appointment as chairman, or April 6, 2016, when Hinkie issued his 13-page resignation letter, was the day it died. One may also argue that the process ended when the Sixers traded 2 second-round picks for Ish Smith on December 24, 2015. But if that very anti-process action constituted a transformation, the instant Colangelo came occurred. On a Sunday night, the Boston Celtics defeated the Miami Heat 100-96 to win a date with the Golden State Warriors in the NBA Finals. Eastern Conference Finals MVP Jason Tatum led the way with 26 points, while Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart scored 24. After scoring 47 points in Game 6 on Friday in Boston, Jimmy Butler led the Miami Heat in Game 7 with 34 points and 9 rebounds. The Heat received 25 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 assists with Bam Adebayo. Following a series-ending loss to the Boston Celtics, the Miami Heat star, Jimmy Butler, shared his thoughts on his last shot. My thought process was, go for the win. My teammates liked the shot that I took, so I'm living with it. Moving on, let's see the process and Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons hears the talk, but his process is not a public experiment. The first rebounded high off the rim, when then the ball descended straight back down to the iron, where it ricocheted 2, 3, or 4 times before finally nestling through the net, crowning Kawhi Leonard and the Toronto Raptors as the Game 7 clutch winners and the Philadelphia 76ers as the disappointing hard-luck Eastern Conference semifinals losers. After a year of anticipation, the Sixers are in the 6th position in the East. As the world struggles with the coronavirus, they're in a state of halted development. However, observers look for flaws in a squad led by 26-year-old Joel Embiid and 23-year-old Ben Simmons throughout the season. They dislike each other. When asked separately, both players immediately respond, untrue. They can't coexist on the court. Sixers coach Brett Brown insists they will win a championship together. Because his internal barometer is so much more perceptive than any of his critics, external forces have never been the source of his skepticism. You cannot unnerve him. He alone is capable of doing so. So that was the whole story of The Process by different celebs we told. Let's end this video here. What do you think of all this matter? Let us know in the comments. Plus, don't forget to subscribe and press the bell button to ensure that you never miss a new video. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to click the like button. See you soon.